Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So it has been a week that's really pissed me off. News has just pissed me off. Advice columnist E. Jean Carroll is one of nearly 4 dozen women who've accused Donald Trump of some form of sexual harassment or assault. She filed a defamation lawsuit against Trump, as I'm sure you all know, after he denied her allegation of rape. And she's been trying to get him into court ever since. It's been quite a while. She claims that she has DNA evidence on a dress that she never washed, and it's still hanging in her closet. But Trump refuses to give up the goods. I mean, he could easily prove his innocence. So I guess we all know who's lying in this case, because he who has nothing to hide hides nothing. But here's what I really want to talk about in regard to this case. Under Trump's suck-up and warthog Bill Barr, the Justice Department defended Trump in that case. They even tried to use qualified immunity to protect Trump, which is what cops use to get out of every time they murder someone. They tried to argue that because he's a government official, he can't be sued for defamation or slander. Now, luckily, a judge called out this BS and said, no. Computer says no. But so far, our tax dollars, your tax dollars, my tax dollars were used to defend Trump in court, which is obscene and insane because he didn't allegedly rape someone as part of his presidential duties. This supposedly took place decades ago. And now the new DOJ, headed by Merrick Garland, is saying they're going to continue to defend Trump, which means that this case is dead in the water. And that's essentially what it means. He won't be held to account for sexual assault crimes he allegedly committed as a private citizen. If this is allowed to stand, that's what it means. And in their legal brief, the Department of Justice stated that because Trump was the president at the time that he denied this allegation, and because he's an employee of the government, they have to continue to represent and defend him. This is complete and utter bullshit. So Carroll's attorney, it's a woman named Roberta Kaplan, she responded saying, quote, the DOJ's position is not only legally wrong, it is morally wrong, since it would give federal officials free license to cover up private sexual misconduct by publicly brutalizing any woman who has the courage to come forward. In addition, several survivors organizations who support Carroll in this case pointed out that the government's protection of Trump will, quote, give license to all federal officials to slander and defame their victims with impunity. When powerful offenders are afforded a public forum and are allowed to manipulate public opinion by shaming, degrading, lying, and attacking their victims' credibility, all victims suffer. All very true. This is exactly what it's going to do, which proves once again, this country doesn't give a damn about women and sexual assault. They don't take it seriously. They never have. They pretend to, but they're putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound is essentially what our laws do in this country when it comes to sexual assault. So not only does Carroll deserve the right to prove her allegations, but this cannot be the precedent that's set moving forward. Can you imagine how this will be abused in the future? So Trump must be required to go to court. As any other man would have to do in this country, he should have to go to court. He should have to defend himself. He should have to provide a DNA sample. Not us, not the taxpayers. We shouldn't have to foot the bill because the king of the Oompa Loompas allegedly can't keep it in his pants and he likes to violate women and little girls. And this story, which is really what's irritating the crap out of me, it's a perfect example of why I have such a hard time more and more every year voting for Democrats. They're freaking pathetic and weak. When Republicans are in power, they choose the most hyper-partisan people they can find, whether it's to fill a seat on the Supreme Court or a cabinet position or even the Attorney General of the United States. I mean, for God's sake, Trump chose that little weasel Jeff Sessions, a known white supremacist, hardcore right-winger white supremacist. Then he kicked him out and he put in Bill Barr, William Barr, the guy who literally lied and covered up crimes for the Bush administration. That's what they choose. They don't care about how it's going to look, how it's going to seem, what the Democrats are going to think, what voters on both sides of the aisle are going to think. But when Democrats finally manage to get power, what do? They're freaking wimps who get walked all over. We don't want to appear partisan. We have to play fair. We have to choose a moderate. It's exactly why Obama tried to put Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court. He purposely chose someone who was a moderate in hopes that Republicans wouldn't have a problem with it and they would accept him. And what happened? Mitch McConnell spit in Obama's face and refused to fill that open Supreme Court seat for almost an entire year. He held it open until Trump became president. Democrats get nothing for trying to play fair. They accomplish nothing trying to play fair. Well, one thing, the only thing they do accomplish with this BS is that they alienate progressives like me who just want something, anything to get done for the American people. Not for corporations, not for their big money donors. We don't care about the culture war bullshit. I don't care if you wear kente cloth. What I want to see and what other progressives like me want to see is real change, economic change in this country. And this is the result of putting these centrist idiots in positions of power. Instead of doing what's right and fair and just and moving the country forward, no, they try to pander to both political parties. So we take one step forward and then one step back. And we wonder why nothing ever changes. We wonder why we go nowhere. So as for this rape case with E. Jean Carroll, it's now up to the Second Circuit panel of judges. It's on them. They're going to have to decide if the DOJ's argument is sufficient and if they can continue to use this argument to protect Trump and to make all of us taxpayers foot the bill. So I'll keep you guys posted, but this just sent me over the edge. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.